Welcome back to Building a Modern Employer Brand podcast. I want to say happy Independence Day to my beloved Finland, because today marks our 105th anniversary as an independent nation. Thanks to it, we stand free, strong, and proud as a nation, high in democracy, freedom of speech, ethical values, morale, and immensely high regard for human life and value. Now, this post-pandemic era, followed by the unfortunate war in Europe, inflation, looming recession, this has all brought unique and unprecedented challenges for employers worldwide in attracting and retaining talent. Obviously, we have the post-pandemic talent market dynamics, from remote work expectations to the great resignation, skill gaps, and digital transformation still going on many places and for years to come. And I believe that once we're kind of, so to speak, done with this first or third or fourth or whatever phase of digital transformation, depending on the maturity of your organization, it'll be another transformation. Geopolitical instability, economic uncertainties, and the inflation and the recession. I think these concerns have brought wage pressures, budget constraints, and caused layoffs and increased employee uncertainties and engagement that in many industries that have never experienced such. And as we navigate this new normal, I think that us employers must really adapt to these challenges with strategic agility and empathy, and understand how the landscape of talent attraction and retention has fundamentally shifted. Now, employers who respond thoughtfully and proactively to these changes, I believe, will be better positioned to attract and retain the talent necessary for their long-term success. There's the HR leaders and management side, where embracing flexible work arrangements and focusing on employee well-being and offering competitive compensation, maybe more tailored, customized packages, and investing in skill development are crucial steps that touch the HR leader and management area of work, concern them. But we also need much more transparent communication, not just internally, but also externally, and a strong employer brand that resonates with the values and the needs of the modern workforce. Now, I've spoken on this podcast about transparency and credibility and earning trust being very essential when we brand and navigate and survive, hopefully thrive, these turbulent times. So on this episode, I'm bringing back the topic from episode number 3 years ago, which has been the second most played episode all time on the history of this podcast. It's been a long while since I last spoke about the magnetic employer branding method and why it can be just the system that you now need to create that positive long-term impact on your employer attractiveness and retention abilities, and go from survival mode to thriving employer mode. Now, if you're new to this podcast, my name is Susanna Rantanen, and I'm a top employer branding and marketing communications expert and influencer in Europe, probably also globally. And my husband and I own one of the top 10 employer branding agencies in Europe. And this podcast is for those of you who want to learn how to use branding, marketing, and communications for business and personal success as an employer or as a seasoned professional in the area of HR, talent acquisition, employer branding, career coaching, So let's get started with this week's episode. I think you and I can agree that 2023 has been one seriously strange oddball. When some industries have been laying off like crazy, others continue to struggle to attract and retain the talents that their businesses need in this oddly reshaped yet hyper competitive world of work. And you've probably tried out campaigns and various recruitment and employer branding ideas, tried multiple agencies and marketing partners, and shared plenty of content online and on social media, and you're still stuck in the mud and you can't get out? What the heck is going on? Why isn't this working, you probably wonder. I bet you're feeling frustrated. I bet you're feeling ready to let go, or better yet, let's change the workplace because it has got to be easier somewhere else. Am I right? But I have to say that the answer is no. It's not easier anywhere else if you are using the wrong tactics and strategies. And the wrong tactic in employer branding is a campaign. If you're trying to hammer your problem with the wrong tool and it doesn't work, you should not be surprised. What you and maybe your boss too need is to take this long and luxurious bath, but not together because we don't want to get weird, in this special ingredient called patience. Because when the times get tough and when what you're doing doesn't seem to be working after time and a time and a time, you have got to stop and hold your horses and consider this. Do you have the right plan? If I continue with this plan, will I witness the change or not? What does my intuition tell me? If you're confident that your plan will work, it's just that the time is crazy. Be patient. Keep on that course. Stick to your plan. Keep on your course and firmly believe that success will come. Be patient. But if you don't have the confidence, or if you don't even have an idea what works, then you don't have a right plan. Because with the right plan, you know what works. What you have been trying is something that doesn't deliver and give you the confidence, and you need to quickly pull on those brakes and stop. And then you need to change your plan. And for that plan, I'm proposing the magnetic, because this could be the game changer that you've been looking for. So I got loads of new listeners for this podcast, so I want to talk to you about the magnetic. Just a quick summary. And this is not a promotional podcast, I promise you. I just want to explain why I'm saying that this is such a game-changing thing. And it's not just that I say it, but actually some other party told us when we were not nominated, but selected as one of the top 10 employer branding agencies in Europe. It was this method that made it, even though they didn't put a list like in the order, but this method put me in a cover of their magazine at the time, and they said that this was such a game changer. So I heard it from them, and they had a lot of experience in this area. So, I like to carry on with that. It's a game changer. I know it's a game changer, and you will know it too. But what makes it just a thing? So first of all, it's a unique marketing approach that is both systematic and it's based on science. I'm a bit of a nerd, as you've really come to learn from my podcasts and my content on social media. I love technology. I love science. And this was developed in 2017. And it provides you with a strategic framework, a blueprint for employer branding, and a systematic marketing approach that's suitable for employer branding and other human-to-human marketing and branding. I use the same method for my personal branding as an expert, and we use the same method for branding and keeping, maintaining and growing our brand awareness as an employer branding agency. So it's not just for employer branding, even though that's what I developed it for originally. It's based on the science of persuasion. So this method has this built-in ideology of positioning the talent as the hero and the employer, so you, the company that you represent, as the only suitable guide or mentor able to help your target audience talent achieve the life that they desire. Let me rephrase. It has a built-in ideology of positioning the talent as the hero, not you as the employer, but the talent, putting the talent on a pedestal, turning all narrative in a way that you're actually speaking about the talent, not about you. But at the same time, positioning yourself as the only suitable guide and a mentor that is able to provide that talent to achieve the life that they desire. It's a paradigm shift, because normally employer branding is about your EVP, your campaigns, your needs, your achievements, your accolades as an employer and as an organization. And that's why they don't work, because literally no one cares about you until they trust that you can help them. If you start talking about you, you're going to lose your audience. And that's exactly what the traditional employer branding does. And that's why it's not working for you. So this method applies communication and sees employer branding as a journey instead of a campaign. And this literally has become the most ideal employer branding method for organizations that are driving change and require consistent and systematic communication method to engage, to inform, to engage, and drive change among their employees. So from fast-growing and fast-scaling businesses to the more established organizations that are going through change, or even a larger business transformation, as well as entrepreneur-led companies that are growing and moving forward in their life cycle and their maturity. This method may sound complex, but it's not difficult to adopt because it's very systematic. I love systems. I'm like a person who likes to organize everything. I mean, look at my bookshelves, and they're not organized just by color. I mean, that would be lame. They're organized by color, by author, and by topic, so that I can discover what book I'm looking for. So if that doesn't prove you I'm systematic, then I don't know what does. This method is systematic, and those of you who are very used to, doing the ad hoc, doing the random, are either likely to find such a structured method challenging at first, or you're going to be delighted to finally get rid of all the noise and the complexity and have like a really smooth, systematic, efficient approach to doing employer branding and working smart, not wasting your time. That's how most of our clients, that's how they feel. Now, when I started creating this method, we had, I think, 4 pilot customers. Those were IT tech industry organizations, quite big, that have real talent-related struggles and challenges that they were dealing at the time. And we learned so much from those pilot cases, and learned, how to iterate this method with those discoveries and learnings. And over the years, as we've applied this method for many of our clients, every time we're still analyzing what works, what doesn't. If there's something that doesn't seem to work, why doesn't it work? Is it because it doesn't work for this type of customer, or this level of maturity, or this size of customer, or this industry, or what's the deal? So we are still prepared to always sort of iterate and develop this method as we go. The foundations are not changing because it's based on science. So it's not like we're going to change science. It's just the application of it, and the system, the approach that we've been sort of developing over the years. It has been tested in so many times that I know that it works. Many people know that it works. It has been developed for modern businesses, and with modern, I mean businesses of this modern era that understand the need for transformation, for change, for looking outside the box, understand that maybe the old ways and habits no longer work, who are open to trying something new and understanding how vital and essential employer branding is for retention and attraction purposes for organizations that want to grow and want to thrive, even though, the times are quite hard at the moment. It speaks about this era. It speaks about the dominant operational environments and the changes and expectations and opportunities that digitalization has brought us over the past decade. And I said, I have kept reiterating this system as social media has changed, consumer behavior, talent expectations, the world of work has changed. So this method is very robust, very up to date, yet it's still very agile and adapts to the changing needs of each employer branding team. At the heart of this method is the use of business storytelling, aligning your target talents, aligning their minds with the mission, the purpose, and the evolving strategy and culture of the company, because those evolve as you go through a change. And this method is tailored to match talent minds with your mission. It's particularly effective, I would say, during rapid growth, during critical change phases, ensuring that the narrative and your culture and the employee experiences are evolving cohesively, and that your employees are staying engaged with the company despite of all these moving parts, uncertainties, and lack of clarity. It also supports maintaining the desired employer brand perceptions, that they're up to date also outside your company. Because this is the typical area that company communications forget during a change process. I mean, if I could get a dime every time I hear company communication telling me that we have actively communicated about this change, and then I ask to your talent audiences outside the company, and they go like, no, but very much to our clients. Well, fair enough. But your messages to your clients are probably not at all relevant to your target talent audiences and have no reference point for them to touch upon. That's why those messages to your clients are not noticed nor received by your talent target audiences. And that's why those perceptions keep getting out of date as long as you're not correcting this. Now, the magnetic employer branding method applies business storytelling narrative to journal the journey from the angles that are actually relevant, both for the business and the target audiences, the talents inside and outside the organization. Now, I'm asking you, does that make you feel that this is game-changing? Because it is game-changing to me. I have been working with employer branding for literally almost as long as employer branding has existed, done pretty much everything in employer branding that have been available. And I can honestly tell you that this is game changing. I think that one of the key elements that you need for employer branding is not just the strategy, because you also need to be able to implement your strategy and execute it consistently. And that's why this method has a comprehensive marketing and communication system that is formulated to your employees inside the organization, as well as the job seekers, both passive and active job seekers, with different kinds of messages, because their needs are very different. So when we have when we're operating from the talent angle and looking at a journey, how they sort of progress on this journey, everyone is on a different phase, with a different mindset, with a different maturity in terms of like how much they want to hear about your vacancies and career opportunities, and how much they're interested in something completely different. And if you're just talking about your career opportunities, there's a whole lot of people that you're never touching or resonating with, and you're losing a lot of potential from if you're not getting their attention. The magnetic employer branding method caters to all aspects of telemarketing. So even though this is about employer branding, but it starts with developing a distinctive employer image. So getting your audience aware that your company actually exists, and how you are as a place to work, as an employer, as a community of like-minded talents, professionals. It moves forward to competitive employer branding, regardless of whether your target audiences are your existing employees or your ideal future candidates. And it then connects with recruitment marketing, delivering recruitment leads to your recruitment funnel if your target audience is considering new career opportunities at this time. And if they could not care less, if it's not the right time for them to consider career opportunities, it keeps them on this employer branding journey instead of pushing them to the recruitment funnel. Now, because the talent is the hero in this approach, your employer brand messages is tailored to influence the target audience from their perspective, from their needs, from their desires, from their pain points, not yours. So your success comes kind of like an after product, and it's called employer brand value conversions. But you have to give first to receive, because that's the only way to win sustainable attention and earn trust. And you need both for branding: attention and trust. And they need to be on this consistent loop. Many companies suffer from this disease of random ad hoc marketing. This leads to an inconsistent and ineffective talent marketing, which doesn't help you one bit in winning sustainable attention and trust. As said, both are paramount to successful branding. The evil thing in random and ad hoc is that those eat much more of your time, much more of your energy, much more of your sort of what you have to give than if you would be working consistently. Because when you do random and ad hoc, you are reinventing the wheel all the time. You're not getting forward. Whereas when you do consistent, you are moving forward. It's much more efficient. Ad hoc and random tend to make us very frustrated regularly, instead of empowering us and inspiring us and making us feel accomplished, because we see that we're actually getting somewhere. And unfortunately, costs more also. Not just your employer, also for you, because it costs in your professional stance. Because if you're not delivering results and producing the impact that your boss is expecting, then it doesn't really look good on you either. At most, with random and ad hoc, you can see some vanity metrics popping up here and there, but vanity metrics are not relevant for business. Vanity metrics are like random things like, oh, let's just look at how many impressions this post received. Or, look, we have 100 more followers this month. Yeah, but what does it mean? What's the value for me as your boss if we have 100 more followers or this post accumulated 5,000 impressions? What's the value? What's in it for us? And you can't explain this because you're not working strategically in employer branding. Then you're losing your game. You're not looking like a professional employer branding practitioner. You learn nothing, which takes away your opportunity to develop as an employer branding professional. I think that at least you should be worried about that. I want you to be excited and enthusiastic about learning what works and what doesn't work, and using your experience to do even better, to be able to prove to your colleagues and to your boss, like, look, I know what works and what doesn't. I've done this before. I've got the evidence. I've got the data. But if you work random and ad hoc, you have none of this available to you. So the magnetic employer branding method provides you with a strategic, planned approach, ensuring measurable results, learning from data, and using all of your resources all the time more and more efficiently. This is the agile method that you need during these times, that has a lot of empathy and human-to-human marketing instilled in it. Exactly what you need. Why choose the magnetic employer branding method? For all those reasons that I just explained. But it's not just a tool. It's a transformation journey. It recognizes that modern employer branding must be an ongoing communication journey, not like a one-off campaign. It helps the businesses to transition from being unknown to becoming known, with your audience being more and more aware of you, to building that deep affinity with potential and existing talent. And this method has proven its efficacy, as evidenced by the recognition as the one of the top employer branding agencies in Europe, and many of our clients today enjoying their position as top of mind employers in their domains. It's a testament to how data-driven, systematic approach can benefit businesses in multiple ways, from talent attraction to overall brand building, employee engagement, even customer satisfaction. As a cherry on the top of the cake, because we like our cherries, don't we? It contributes to generating competitive advantage for the company. That should be of interest to all forward-thinking employers during these times. Now, I want you to make your mark with magnetic employer branding. I want you to have a systematic approach that delivers to your ambition, that gives you a structured way of work, that helps you be persistent enough to achieve a successful employer brand and stand out as an employer branding master. And for that, you need this method, magnetic employer branding method. Put it in there. It's not just for attracting talents. It's for you also to make your mark as a visionary employer branding practitioner. So I'd like you to join the ranks of those who have turned their talent acquisition and retention challenges into success stories, embracing this innovative approach and seeing how it can transform your talent marketing from a struggle to a strategic asset. Now, I have a couple of steps for you if you're interested in. None of these cost you anything. I need to earn your trust before I can successfully convince you to get this method or join one of my courses where I can teach you how to apply it or anything like that. if you trust me and when you trust me, you'll come to me. I don't need to promote and push this to you. So I have 3 steps that I offer you that are completely free. So at this time, this is 6th of December, 2023. We're now collecting feedback from other ambitious and persistent employer branding practitioners like you. So if you have not given your feedback to us yet, this is for the upcoming Becoming a Certified Magnetic Employer Brand Manager program. I would love if you could give us your 3 minutes or max 5 minutes to share your ideas, give your feedback on this short survey, as long as it's open. I'll keep it open until I have enough information, enough feedback, enough data. So I want to really make a good program, because this is going to be our landmark. It'll be open as long as you can find it on the front page header button at modernemployerbrand.com. And I'll also put it to our emina.fi website header button. Now, mental note, remember to do this. My memory is so crap. There's just so much stuff going on in my life. If you don't want to do that, why don't you take baby steps with me? Get to know me through social media. Connect with me on Instagram, LinkedIn. You can watch my videos on YouTube, and sometimes I do TikTok too. But Instagram is my main media, and then LinkedIn. Or connect with me on all of those. I post regularly stuff that should interest you if you're into modern employer branding and this world that I've been talking about on this podcast. So you can find me as Rantanen on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and Susanna Rantanen on LinkedIn. And if you're a little bit more courageous, then this is a little bit bigger step, but it's still free, completely free. I have an ebook, Building a Modern Employer Brand ebook, for you to learn a little bit more about this method. So if you download that and you're not subscribed to my weekly exclusive tips yet, then you'll get both for free. Doesn't require you to commit to anything. You can dump me if you feel like I can't provide you any help. But if you enjoy this podcast, you will enjoy those exclusive tips that I share on that weekly email that you get together with the ebook. I know that then you will also love employer branding with this method. So what about these 3 little steps? Do 1, 2, 3, all of them if you like. And if you'd rather not do any of those, just take a little peekaboo at modernemployerbrand.com. All of these podcast episodes are there. Go through, browse through all the episodes, see what you find, what kind of vibe you get. It's very important that you feel that you can trust me and my expertise, because, this is my passion, and I love people who are as passionate about employment as I am. All right, that's all for this week, my friends. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, share this episode with your HR and employer branding talent acquisition colleagues. Comment this episode on social media, send me a message on social media, give me feedback, anything. Just connect with me, engage with me. I love talking to my tribe. And stay tuned for more episodes like this, mastering branding, communications, marketing in the world of talent acquisition and employer branding and career development. My name is Susanna Rantanen. Thanks for tuning in. Happy birthday, Finland. And until next week, moi moi!